What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the new CRX project. In the previous video you guys saw, we went to go pick it up and got it to the driveway so we can get down to work. First thing I'm going to do with this car is pretty much clean it up. I'm going to open up the hood, take out everything that I don't need, and then start scrubbing it down. I think I decided that this time around I'm not going to paint the engine bay because one, all the factory unit stuff is there, and I'm going to actually keep the wiring, the fuse box in the engine bay instead of like tucking it like all the cars that I've done here on the channel. I do want to keep it the factory paint because it is actually pretty clean. Normally when these cars get swapped 1,000 times, the engine bay starts to get scratched up and stuff, but the paint in this car is actually pretty clean. So I want to clean the engine bay, and then I want to move into the interior so we can start tearing everything out of it to see what needs some cleaning and what needs to be replacing. I might try to do some paint on the rear interior because it is blue and the interior itself is actually black. So maybe we'll go buy some paint and do a little painting today as well. But first and foremost, let's get under the hood. So I'm not going to explain a lot with this until we get to something that needs explaining. All I'm going to do is throw you guys on a laps and just really get to work. Okay, 3 things. 1, oven cleaner eats really deep. Don't let it sit too long. 2, pressure washer is called a pressure washer because it's pressurized water. It's pretty strong, 1900 psi. So I left the oven cleaner on here just to eat up a lot of the oil that was on the subframe and everything, and because I sprayed the entire thing at the same time, they were all sitting at about the same amount of time. I then used the pressure washer to pressure wash all of the gunk that was caked up in the engine bay, and I must say, it cleaned up a lot. It cleaned up so much that the paint actually came off a little bit as well too. So we have some primer right there, some visible primer on the firewall, which is now kind of bothering me, but I'm still gonna stick to the game plan of not spraying this engine bay and leaving it the factory color. And it is looking really good. It is. The subframe was super gunked up, and now it's just the raw black that the subframe comes in with a little bit of debris, which is not a big deal. It is a lot better than when we started. So the third thing that I noticed, which I actually already knew beforehand, but it's more visible now that I have the headlight out, the bulkhead on the driver's side is pretty pushed in. So if you look, it is kind of wrinkled here. It is a little bit wrinkled right here. It's a little bit wrinkled up in the front. It's not sitting straight like it should be, but the headlight and everything did still kind of lined up, although the headlight itself was actually broken as well, right? So what I'm actually going to do right now before I move into the interior is I'm gonna whip out the big hammer and I'm gonna try to bang this frame as straight as I could. And that sounded kind of, anyways, I'm gonna try to get this frame to be straightened out and may possibly try to fit up the front bumper just so we can figure out how far we need to go. I did notice that this was kind of tweaked when the T-bar was on it, although the hood did close as well. But I want to straighten this out as much as I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and find my ginormous hammer wherever it's at and get to banging. Smacking the frame. So before I show you guys the frame that I kind of pulled out a little bit, I threw the bumper on and the bumper support. Now this car was turboed, so the bumper grill is cut out as well as the bumper support. It's kind of trimmed off right here, but I do have another bumper just like this one, an aftermarket one with the grill without cutouts, and I just realized that I only have one amber bumper lamp, so I may have to order that as well too. But for right now, I test fitted this and it looks like it may just work. Like, the bumper gaps aren't crazy at all. It's not secured right now, but just to know that it lines up almost all the way, that gives me hope that this thing is going to line up once I secure everything into place. So same thing on this side, not secured, nice closed gap. I am going to need 2 new fenders because both of these are pretty bad. It's dented up here on both sides as well as here, and on the other end this entire section is messed up. So new fenders, hopefully different hood because this one has been folded in half, a new bumper. Hopefully we can get the front end to look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off really quickly, show you guys the frame that I kind of hammered around to get it to straighten up a little bit. This thing is much more flimsier than an OEM bumper, but you know, we work with what we have. So the frame itself has a gap because I cannot bend the rail unless I pull the radiator support off and then, you know, work the metal straightened out from the inside. I did as much as I could with hitting it out, and the three bolt here, 1, 2, and the bottom one lines up. The top one's kind of folded. I had to cut this piece off because it was bent and mangled so bad that I couldn't even put the bracket on, so I cut it off. And I know I have another one somewhere, I just don't know where. To align the bumper and bump support, I had to leave the top one not bolted in, because if I suck it in too far, this support will actually bend backward. Now I did kind of pull all of this forward. This section was pointed up, and now it looks almost the same as the other side. It looks like this now instead of like this. I guess that's a little comparison of what I was talking about. But if you look, pretty straight. Gonna need some fresh headlights to really align everything into place, but that's not my worries as of right now. I think I want to now move into the inside of the car and start pulling everything out. Not gonna lie, I haven't gotten to the interior yet. I was just putting everything back into the car because I wanted to clear out my table. Went to the backyard, and on the spare bumper I have amber bumper lamps, so that's freaking awesome. Don't have to order it. And I'm gonna put this on just for now. We're probably gonna scrap that one because it is pretty chopped up, pretty bad, and don't really have any need for it anyway. So I'm gonna put this on, clean up my table a little more, and we'll move into the car. I still haven't gotten to the interior because I just realized that the paint shop does not open on the weekend, so I need to go grab some paint right now before they close so I can have some paint to refresh the interior. Let's get to it. So we have this color code right here by Sem Product, 15013. This is between flat and gloss. He showed me a little example on the paint book, and it looks like the color that we're shooting for. So this is the part number. We're gonna rock with this, give it a good clean old bingo, and give it a good spray. So now we're gonna head back home and continue our work. I now have 2 of these hatch visors. Still debating if I want to rock one on the KRX. Looky, looky. We have the other bumper lamp. So now we have a spare set. So that's cool. Even though I'm not really a big fan of the amber anymore. But I will tell you, back in my JDM days when I was younger, I wanted the entire front end on my EOS sedan to be completely amber. But I'm over it now. Clear for the win. So I grabbed these quarter panel window trim right here, and I just realized that this is for $88.89. I grabbed these quarter panel window trim for the interior, and I just realized that this is for $88.89, which has the pillar mounted seat belt. This car is a 91 and it has door mounted seat belt, so that means that hole is just going to be exposed. When I grabbed the bumper from the backyard, I realized that there's another set in the backyard. I also have another set in the storage as well that is black, and this one is 9091 because there's no holes there. So we're going to be using these guys and sand them down, paint them as well. Also helps get it out of my backyard. On the rear kick panel, I am missing one of the square panel for the center garnish tail light, and I am missing the grill, which I think I might have spares, I'm not sure. I am also missing the tower panel that goes on the quarter panel itself on both sides. I do have the rear tail lights right here, both of them. The storage compartment is in black, so it just needs a good cleaning. Obviously, I mentioned that I'm missing the rear divider and the cargo cover. If I don't run a cargo cover, I'll just make like a spare tire cover just so it can cover up the spare tire well. And yeah, let's get to scrubbing so we can lay some paint down before the sun goes down. So I'm over here scrubbing the interior and stuff, and the homie Fred pulled up, and this guy backed up and started offloading his Transit. And I'm like, man, what is he doing? Okay, well, he's got a front bumper for his Accord, and then he goes, got to pull the wagon out. I'm like, for what? Look at this guy. A red freaking Odyssey driver's side door with a tan door panel. If you guys don't remember, my mom's Odyssey got smacked by her boss, and the door took most of the damage. Look at this. And I've been on a hunt. If you guys seen the previous junkyard videos, both Odysseys that I found that were red had the doors either missing or just as bad with damage. And Fred just, guess he went to the junkyard without me today and scored a red Odyssey door. That is crazy. That is just crazy. You weren't lying when you said you put that onto your notifications, huh? Yeah. Man, this guy. Freaking Fred, bro. You know you're not supposed to be doing this by yourself, man. Be lifting this. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're probably in the junkyard doing this by yourself, bro. I did. Man, this guy, no chill, dude. I got it. No chill. Hold it. Yeah. This guy is. Let me put the camera down. This fool's crazy. He's crazy. I asked him how much. He goes, it's a gift. Make mama happy. A whole complete freaking Odyssey door. I literally just told him the other day what year it was, and he was like, oh, I'll just put it on my alert, and just pulled up today with the whole ass door. We'll save that for a later day. Right now I just want to continue doing the quarters, and then we'll get to spraying. The other ones that I already sanded down is on top of my wagon drying out. Let's just get it done. Sun's starting to set right there, and I'm going to start painting all the small items first. Quarter panel panels are hanging off the roof of the house, and I'm going to hit it with some Sem Solve for the final wipe down. And then the guys at the paint shop recommended to use adhesion promoter, and I don't think I have enough of this to do the entire like panel that we're trying to paint tonight, because this is only about quarter can left. We're gonna do this first, and then we'll hit it with the color coat black. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit you guys on the laps again, and let's just get as much as we can done tonight in this video. Okay guys, so here's the sitch. We don't have any more adhesive promoter, and I have one more quarter panel plastic to do right here for the driver's side, and I have maybe right here at the bottom of the can. The passenger side quarter panel we just did took a lot of coats to really drown out that faded blue, because it is a really light color, so it took up a lot of paint. Now I thought we were able to get away with just one. We were close. I can probably do a coat and a half with whatever's left in here, but it's not going to be enough to fully cover this quarter panel. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to paint this one until a couple more days when the paint shop is open, to grab another can of this and also go get another can of adhesive promoter. But for the most part, we have all of the other trims painted. The back kick panel, we got the tail light covers, and we have the quarter panel glass trim, that quarter panel, and I might just install all that I have already ready to rock and roll. I did clean this a little bit. I still need to vacuum it, but it is clean for the most part, and the inside is also nice and clean as well. So this is probably going to be the last one to go on, because we need to secure all of this first to the chassis, and then that goes on top of this. But for the most part, let's go ahead and get those installed into the car. It's gonna be a little dark, and I apologize now. Sorry. Really loving how the painted panel came out. It's looking freaking awesome. The taillight cover is on right there. We have a screw securing the quarter right here. I'm not going to be putting the rear kick panel on yet, because the other quarter panel trim has to go on first, and then this kick panel goes over it like so. I might try to put a rear strut bar on here just because this is already cut for it, and I do have a couple of rear strut and front struts in the storage unit hanging on the wall, so we'll probably try to figure something out with that. There's supposed to be 2 screws here that secures the panel to the speaker bracket, but we don't have that, so there's no threaded portion in the back here, and we're just going to leave that be, and hopefully we can find some speaker coverage just so we can cover all of this up. The only other thing that I can install right now is the driver's side quarter glass panel, and I'm probably going to do that, but everything else I'm going to toss it into the garage. I'm going to clean up, and I may just wrap it up. But before we do, I do want to clean all the junk that's in the front half of the car as well. Got some NGK wires, OEM LS B20 distributor. We're going to need this for the B20 engine, so I grabbed it from the storage unit. I'm going to go ahead and just leave that here for right now. Definitely going to vacuum this carpet for sure. And I am going to switch out the steering wheel. The dashboard might come out. I'm not sure if I want to do that tomorrow. I might do it tomorrow. Quit slacking, right? I may just do that tomorrow. So this side, that's for the steering wheel, because there's no nut in it. I got the car without a steering wheel. Hey there, little buddy. Y'all kind of loud tonight. Let's see. Oh, so we do have the throttle cable, because it wasn't in the engine bay, so I'm just gonna leave that over there. Ugh. 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 Hardware. Ooh, a lot of things going on over here. Definitely gonna be putting the battery back into the engine bay, so we're gonna take this guy out. And it's funny because this was actually mounted right here, and I guess the battery was just sitting here because the ground was bolted to where the seatbelt would be at on an 88, 89. What is this? This has to be like knock sensor or something. we're gonna take that out because we're not going to need this if I think I'm doing what I'm going to be doing. The good thing is all the heater plugs are still here, not cut. And if you look, we don't have anything up here. So again, I want to pull a dash out because I think I want to put all the heater core and everything back in. It's a nice little luxury for, you know, those who drive cars. Like, say if somebody bought this car and drove it every day through the rain, through the cold, it'd be nice to have heater, defrost. And the beautiful part about this is this car is an SI and these plugs are unmodified. Love it. So that's freaking awesome. This plug here comes factory between all the chassis, whether it comes with AC or not. This is the plug for the AC unit. We're not going to need it, so that's just going to sit there. But all of these guys, what are you? What are you? Oh, this is the this is probably the power window, so we're going to leave that alone. But all of these guys, what is this? This is also probably part of something. This is also part of something, but we're just gonna let you guys be. There's another wire. What are you part of? Huh, not entirely sure, but this guy is gonna come out as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab all of these right here and stick it in the trash. And I think that's all I'm gonna do for tonight as far as the interior goes. Okay, something just caught my attention. I was aware that this is a replacement fiberglass sunroof panel. Fiberglass, no rust. And this entire time that I bought this car, I thought it still had a sunroof. And as I'm cleaning, I just realized that it's literally just a plug. Kind of how I did it on my other cars, my red car and my race car, but I thought there was a sunroof in here the entire time. Okay, well, I mean, it's not a big deal to me, but I guess it's not a big deal at all. So that's good to know. I do have the panel that does belong here, except it's going to be weird to attach it because it's supposed to sit flush, not sunk. And I don't have a DX headliner, which eliminates this entirely. But if we find one, we'll change it out. If we don't, then it is what it is. Maybe we'll sticker bomb it or something. But I think as far as the interior goes, again, we're done for tonight. Now with this build, I'm not going to show you guys like every little thing. Like I told you guys, I need to buy more paint for the quarter panel so we can spray it and install it. I'm not going to show you guys that. I'm just gonna do all of that, throw it in, and then we'll move on to the next thing. I don't necessarily need to pull the dash out tomorrow, but it's just another thing on the list to do. I can either knock it out or move on to the bigger thing, which is plant the B20, the rebuilt B20, the junkyard B20 into the car and just see if it works. And if it does, we'll yank it back out and then we'll prep it to put the LSV tick into it. Or we can just pull the dashboard out, do the heater core and all that stuff. But as far as today goes, we made some major progress on the car. I literally brought it home less than 24 hours ago, and we already got the engine bay nice cleanly prepped, the frame pulled out, the front end not fully aligned but somewhat aligned, and all the panels are there as far as bumper, lights, corner lamp, headlight, all that good jazz. We got to the interior, we cleaned out all the junk. It needs a good deep cleaning and vacuum, but most importantly, we got most of the quarter panel stuff installed. So we're gonna cap out the video right here, guys. Progress is better than no progress, and I can assure you guys, moving forward, we're gonna be making a lot of progress. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys wanna stick around for some more progress update on this new car, I don't really have a name for it yet, but if you guys want to stick around and see more updates on it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also a reminder, S1 giveaway for the all-wheel drive bundle is still live. Link in the description below. Only $5 to join. So click the link if you guys want to get a chance to win it. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.